the number one thing that I had to learn was how my brain was pretty much trying to sabotage everything I was trying to do. Because when I'm able to separate who I really am from the things that my brain might try to convince me to do, or that my brain might try to convince me that I am, it's easier for me to not feel like it's a me thing. It's easier for me to not feel like I'm the only one who goes through this. This is a human thing. Your brain is wired for survival. And when I recognized that my brain saw my dreams as an attack on who I currently was, that's when I was like, okay, hold on. It's not that I can't have these things. It's not that I'm not smart enough. It's not that I'm not motivated enough. It's not that I don't have the discipline. It's that I have been this one person for so long. Once you get an understanding of this, once you get an understanding of your brain, it becomes just a little bit easier to manage and to be disciplined and to go after the goals that scare you. Hello and welcome back. My name is Juditha and I am your mindset coach. I am your dream life advocate. In this space, we talk about your dreams, your fears, your insecurities, your comfort zone, literally all the things that matter when you're trying to create your dream life, because I'm trying to do the same thing. So trust me when I say that I get it. We are going to talk about the ways, like the sneakiest ways that your brain is keeping you stuck. And I'm going to show you and teach you why it's doing it and how you can move past it so that even when the doubts and the fears come up, it does not limit you. So the first thing I want to talk about, which I already touched on, is how your brain's number one priority is safety and not growth. Your brain isn't looking at life the way that you are. And I know it's crazy to talk about the brain like it's this whole separate thing and like you have no control over it. But honestly, if you're not aware of what the brain does, then you don't have control over it, right? You think you're in control, but really what you're doing is reacting to life instead of creating it. Your brain is wired to favor what is familiar. That's why it becomes so hard when you say, I want to get up early. Like, it's such a simple thing, right? But that's why you struggle. That's why staying at a job you hate feels safer than going after the dreams that you know would make you happy. Because your brain is like, hold on. Yesterday we went to this job and we survived. Today we should go to this job and survive again. Like, and anytime you think about making a change, anytime you think about quitting, think about doing something better, your brain is going to bring you all the reasons why you shouldn't. And it's going to feel so real. Okay. Your brain is not in favor of growth. Your brain does not care if you discover your purpose, right? Your brain does not care about that. It cares about staying within the boundaries of your comfort zone. Let's talk about your comfort zone and how it's really not even comfortable. Your comfort zone really is just what you have become used to. It's what your body has become used to. It's the thoughts that you've become used to thinking. It's the beliefs that you've become used to believing. That is actually what your comfort zone is. Understand that your brain, it's like a computer, right? It's going to memorize the things that you do over and over and over. And those things are going to become programmed into who you are. And it's going to become something that you call my identity, right? It's going to be who you call me. Once you solidify in your identity that this is who I am, these are the things I do, these are the thoughts that I think, whether it's conscious or subconscious, your brain is going to keep replicating those things because your brain wants to make sure that you keep getting the same results. It doesn't matter if those results is unhappiness. It doesn't matter if those results is chaos. It doesn't matter if it's unorganization, if it's laziness, procrastination. Your brain is like, okay, well, this is what we've always done and we've been surviving every day since. Your brain cannot make the decision for you to change. You have to make that decision, and then you have to be willing to fight like hell against all the doubts and the thoughts that are going to come once you decide that you want something bigger, once you decide that you want something better. So now let's talk about proof-based programming. Your brain will look for and bring you confirmation of whatever you believe is true. Whatever you believe is true about you, or whatever you believe is true about the world around you, your brain is going to look for confirmation and prove you right. That's also called the confirmation bias. It's something that is built into all of us. This is why there are people out there who love Trump and will swear up and down that he is the best thing for this country, right? And then there's people out there who voted for Kamala and would swear up and down that she was the best thing for this country. And no matter what you say about these people, no matter what proof you bring, no matter what statistics, if they believe this one thing about that person, their brain is going to cancel out anything that could possibly negate that, anything that could cancel out what they think is true of this person that they're putting on a pedestal. That is how your brain works. So think about that, right? If that is how your brain works, imagine if you feel like, if your feelings towards money is there's never enough, I never have enough, it's hard to make, it's hard to come by, and then you experience this in your reality, and then you say, well, of course it's the truth, I experience it. Know that your belief about it comes first. The experience of it does not come first. You experiencing a lack of money, you experiencing money being hard to come by, money being easy to lose. It's your belief about it that makes the experience, the proof come about, right? Because on a subconscious level, if that is what you believe, then your brain is going to make sure that you are proven right. Okay. But when you start to believe that you are abundant, and this is something that I can test, like I can testify to this. Okay. When you start to believe that you are abundant, the abundance shows up. Okay. And it's not only because, and it's not a magic trick, right? I'm not saying it just boom, one day you're just rich. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is 9 times out of 10, sometimes the abundance shows up in a way that you wouldn't even imagine. A lot of us equate money and abundance, but abundance can show up in so many other ways. It can show up in love. It can show up in gratitude. It can show up in someone doing favors for you out of the blue. It can show up in a phone call you didn't expect. It can show up in people supporting you financially, people wanting to invest in you. I have experienced all of the above, okay? And I continue to experience all of the above because I believe that the abundance is already available to me. And in those moments when I start to lock up and I start to feel anxiety or scarcity, I do have to bring myself back, right? Because again, brains are going to do what brains do. And I came from a scarcity mindset. Like I grew up watching my mom live paycheck to paycheck. Therefore, this is something that I have been outgrowing and I'm still outgrowing because it still appears, right? That's another thing. It's a consistent commitment, right? Are you committed to consistently reminding yourself of how abundant you already are, how lucky you can be? Because when you start to believe like that, people who believe things like this, those are the people that you think get lucky. Those are the people that you look at and you're like, damn, I wish I was them. Damn, look at her. She's doing this thing. Damn, how is she showing up so consistently? Baby, it's not really luck. What it really is effort, it's belief, it's thought. It's a willingness and a commitment to remind ourselves that who we are or who we think we are is sometimes miles away from who we actually are. The other thing I want to touch on is neuroplasticity. That is your brain's ability to rewire itself. Your brain is literally going through a physical change. So when you want to change, like when you're changing things, you have to be patient because there's physical changes happening in your brain when you have goals and you start to strive towards them. When you start becoming a person that you've never been, your brain is physically changing. And the best way to think about neuroplasticity is this. Imagine that you are a conductor of a train and every day you take the same path. It's the same route. You say hey and wave to the same people. You pass by the same landmarks, the same trees. But then one day a new track is built. And that track is easier in that it's a shorter route, so it'll get you there quicker. It's more convenient. It saves gas. In essence, it'll make your life easier. The first time you go to take that track, everything feels new. It feels uncomfortable because you don't see the people that you usually see. You don't see the trees that you usually see, the buildings, the landmarks. So it feels weird. It feels uncomfortable. But let's say tomorrow you take the new route. Then the next day you take the new route. And the more and more you start to take that new route, it becomes familiar. It becomes something that you get used to. So your brain is no longer afraid of it. Your brain is no longer making you feel frazzled by what you might encounter because now you know what to expect. However, that old path is still there, right? Every time the train comes, you have a decision. You can take the old path or you can take the new path. And that is literally what's going on in your brain. Your old ways are always going to be there, right? But when you start taking that new path, it becomes easier and easier. It becomes easier to say, I'm going right this time because I know that if I go right, it's going to take me there faster. Yes, it might be a little unfamiliar. Yes, I might not be able to be around and see the people and the trees that I'm used to seeing. However, this is going to get me there quicker. This is bettering my life. The old path, again, is always going to be there. And that's why sometimes you slip up, right? That's why sometimes you don't do the things that you say you're going to do. It's because no matter what you do, that old way of being will always be there. Okay. But you always have the choice. So neuroplasticity happens when you consistently take that new path and you build that new bridge and you build those new alignments and you wire those neurons together. And now you're a new person. Now it becomes easier to take that path. And that is how you have to think about your goals. In the beginning, it's going to be hard because you're so used to taking this one path. You're so used to the people that you've always been around. You're so used to the environment, whether it's toxic or positive, you're so used to it. When you start to try to do something new, your nervous system is going to be like, hold on, we've never done this before. We've never been here before. be aware of that, okay? Now let's talk about awareness, because now you're aware of it. Now you have no excuse. I just told you all the reasons why it matters. I just told you all the things that your brain is gonna do and is doing. And I just told you why it's so hard to change. I just told you everything that you need to know. And now that you're aware of it, that's good. But awareness isn't enough. Now you need to be committed to consistently changing it. Now you need to be committed to messing up and still doing it the next day. Even if you mess up one day, like, you have to jump back on it as many times as it takes. If you know that this will change your life, if you know that the goals that you have is going to eventually create the life that you want, you just can't make quitting an option. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is this. Your brain is going to offer you all the reasons why you shouldn't start. And I'm laughing because I'm literally experiencing this currently in something that I want to do. Like, my brain keeps convincing me that it's not the right time, and y'all, I keep believing it. You can know better and still not do better, but slowly but surely, like, I know I'm gonna get there. I have to do exactly what I just told y'all to do. I need to break the thing down into the smallest steps. But your brain is gonna want to offer you so many excuses that it's not the right time, that you don't have the money, that you don't have the support, that there's just no way that little old you can create a life that grand and that big. There's just no way that little old you can create $1 million. There's just no way. Like, your brain is going to bring you all the excuses. And remember, we talked about that your brain is going to bring you proof of what you believe. So if you don't do anything else, start to shift your belief to, I can do it. Like, there's a possibility. If somebody else did it, then why can't I? Right? If they made it, why can't I? If they succeeded, then why can't I? And like, literally ask yourself, like, why wouldn't you be able to? And then be very aware of the excuses that your brain brings you once you ask yourself, like, what is it saying to you? Is it saying that you're not good enough? Is it saying that you're not worthy? Is it saying that you have no proof that this will work? Because the only way that you get proof that what you want will actually work is by doing it. And sometimes you really do have to reason with your brain. You have to tell your brain, hey, I understand what you're doing. I understand that we're worried. I understand that we're afraid. But the only way that I will get to see if I succeed is if I try. Okay? All right, y'all. Well, that is it for today. Just remember, your brain is doing its job, but you still get to be in charge. I hope this was helpful. Make sure that you subscribe and leave a comment and let me know if you resonate with this. Let me know if there's something that your brain has literally just been stopping you from doing. And then I want you to comment committed if you are committed to being consistent no matter what your brain offers you. And ladies, I am creating a program. It is called REWIRE, and it is doing exactly what it sounds like. We are rewiring your brain so that you can achieve the goals that scare you. I mean, the ones that feel impossible from where you are. This is going to be a course. It's going to be coaching with me. It's going to be a community, literally a community of women just like you. I'm going to leave the link to the waitlist in the description box. And as soon as it launches, you will be the first to know, okay? I will see you guys on the next one. Until next time.